Hello, welcome back to the Football Terrace. Thank you very much for tuning in as always. Do me a big favour, smash the like button, hit the share button as well. I feel like I'm back to my roots today, back in London, back on the go, bit of business to take care of. So yeah, it's nice to be streaming this way with you all. Sorry about the movement of the camera there. I'll try and hold it a little bit stiller, or a little more still. Is that the right phrase? Is that good terminology? I'll try and hold it still is probably the best way of saying it. But do me a favour and hit that like button. Please hit the share button as well. We're here to talk Jadon Sancho. Big news this morning via Jamie Jackson that Manchester United have reached deadlock with Borussia Dortmund over this potential deal. And instead of trying to fight it through, it does appear that Man United may be looking at an alternative to Jadon Sancho, and that may be Gareth Bale on when it's relevant. We'll deliver the news as it's been spoken about at the moment. There are people that think this deal is now over. There are journalists that are saying that this deal, has reached deadlock and Man United are going to seek alternatives elsewhere. I am still confident that Man United can get this deal done. I am still confident that Man United can get this deal over the line. So I think for me, nothing has changed. If you listen and trust the credibles out there, they've all said all along that Man United need to pay a certain amount. They haven't agreed to that certain amount. It's always been at deadlock. Nothing has really changed in that part. Jadon Sancho wants to move to Manchester United. Man United want Jadon Sancho. Borussia Dortmund are happy and willing to sell him, but for the right amount of money. This news has been given to us consistently over the course of the summer. And nothing that Dortmund have said yesterday, nothing that Jamie Jackson or Fabrizio or Jan Fjortov have said in the last 12 to 24 hours has changed the deal at all. My personal opinion is I don't think we're even heavily looking at alternatives. I think that is all just a bit of a ploy, a bit of an approach to try and test the resolve of Borussia Dortmund. But interestingly, I don't think that's what we should be doing. Personally, I think we should just be paying the money, putting the offer together and getting it done, because Man United need Jadon Sancho. There is absolutely no doubt about that whatsoever. I just want to see the deal done. I just want to see the deal get over the line. There is no doubt about that in my mind. So all this fun and games, all this shenanigans, all this sort of PR push, from a personal standpoint, I'm not for it. But the other element is, do I get it? Yes. I do. Clubs, they care about the PR looking right. We haven't only got to look at Liverpool. I've said it before, and I'll say it again, the Jadon Sancho deal is absolutely alive. The Jadon Sancho deal can absolutely happen. There's no doubt about that whatsoever. We've just got to remain patient. We've got to remain patient. We've got to remain calm. It's the biggest transfer deal in Premier League football history, and it's happening and it's going on in one of the most turbulent times financially that football has ever seen due to the global pandemic. Now, I'm up in London today. I'm in the central hub of London, and it's dead. It feels like a Sunday morning up here. It really, really does. So people do just have to relax. They've got to stay calm. There's still going to be a little twists and turns to go. This time last week, the news was positive. We fast forward a week, and the news is negative again. And this has been the exact same pattern now since March. So the fact that people are still being suckered in by it is a madness to me. Of course, you get the rivals of Man United that are celebrating right now. They think it's over. But in 3 or 4 days' time, when there's a positive spin, they'll be angry and they'll be frustrated and they'll be screaming. And we've literally had this same pattern now for nearly 6 months. Opinions on Bale. I've said it all along. I wouldn't mind Gareth Bale at Manchester United. If Gareth Bale comes in, I'm happy. I think Gareth on the right deal. So if he comes in, say on a 1-year contract, I'm happy. If he comes in on a 1-year deal where we're paying a third or half of his salary, I'm happy, because Gareth Bale can deliver in that time period. If at the end of that year we still can't sign Sancho and there's an option to sign Gareth Bale for a couple of years, do it. Still one of the very best attacking players in world football. My only problem with him has always been his injuries. And as I say, if you get him on a year first with an option to buy at the end of it, you're mitigating that risk in a massive way. So anybody that wouldn't want Gareth Bale or doesn't think Gareth Bale is talented enough, you're lying to yourself or you're deluding yourself. It's as simple as that. Do me a big, big favour, hit that like button, please. Really, really important to us that you get that done. Let's do some of your comments here. Man United are in Liverpool's shadow. Well done. Gareth Bale is going to Spurs. I don't know about that. What happened? I'm not reading that one. Gareth Bale is injury prone. Exactly, which is why I said you take him on a year loan, first of all, with an option to buy. We see how his injuries and his body hold up at Manchester United. If you're signing him for a third of his salary, if you're bringing him in on a 1 year loan with no compulsory purchase order, it's a good piece of business. It's a good deal that could yield some dividends for you and could be quite fruitful. So I wouldn't be overly concerned about it whatsoever. Comment here says ESPN reporting that Tottenham are in for Bale, and they could be. Like I've said, I'm not even sure if the Gareth Bale link is real. I'm not even sure if Man United are genuinely looking to try and bring Gareth Bale into Manchester United. I still think we're looking at Jadon Sancho. I still think Jadon Sancho is a transfer target that United think they can get done. But it's protruding and it's taking time, and there's a lot of people that felt this would happen, and they're being proven as to be right. And the one thing, again, that not one credible journalist or one credible person has said is that the deal is completely dead and that the deal is completely over and the deal isn't going to happen. It's not been said once. And until somebody comes out and categorically shuts the deal down and says it's over, and I'm talking Man United, I'm talking Dortmund. Yes, they say the player is going to remain here, he's part of our plans, but they've said that before. That isn't good enough to me. It either needs to be Man United, it needs to be Jadon Sancho, or I would probably accept it from one of the credible European journalists as well. If they were to come out with this statement with the people they know and the connections they have, then it's something that I would look at and probably look to believe in relation to that. Comment here says, I would get Lamptey from Brighton, fast winger, knows how to cross. Listen, Lamptey's a talented boy, but people have got to calm down with this sort of a few good games and then we should be signing him up, we should be making him a big part of our team. I think that's a little bit too much too soon, in my opinion. Terry will be making these videos in the year 2020. Listen, if newspapers stop printing all these lies about Jadon Sancho and Manchester United, we don't make the stories. So that's it. If rivals don't stop spreading their lies, we don't make these stories. If people don't try and twist the truth, we don't make these videos. So you people, a lot of you involved, you're the reason that we do it. Because you're the ones passing out the misinformation. You're the ones that are tweeting saying United's dream of signing Sancho is over. Says who? Says nobody. But yet you're pushing that lie. So you make content creators come out and talk about things. If you want us to stop talking about it, you stop talking about it. If United don't get Sancho, who is your replacement? Sid, it isn't about like for like, in my opinion. I wouldn't look at it as in who do we need to go out there and sign, who else is available. I would look at it from the sense of what other areas of the squad could we fix. So if you can't get Sancho this summer, go, okay, well, where could we use that money? Thomas Partey, as an example. We're looking at Sergio Reguilon. That deal is almost done and over the line. You know, could we then look at a Jackie Grealish? There are other areas that we could look at to improve our team, recoup. Money will increase by next year again because of the situation with football hopefully coming back to normal. And then from that point, you move on to, say, Jadon Sancho next year. This notion that Man United's season and Man United as a football club is dead and buried and finished and over if we don't land this one particular player is a false narrative, and one that I'm personally not going to push. You know, I'm not going to push it at all. Oh, did Jack Grealish sign a new contract today? Fair enough. I was talking hypothetically there. I had no idea that he did that. That probably rules him out of a move this summer. Also probably means that nobody's come in for the money that they've been offering as well. But that was just me giving you a hypothetical there. You know, there are other options out there. There are other areas of Man United's squad that can be improved and United could benefit from spending the money on. So the point still remains. The point still remains. This is not suddenly the end of the world if Man United don't land Jadon Sancho. It's frustrating and I'll be annoyed that we haven't got it done. But does that mean I suddenly write the season off? Only a clown is going to do that. Only a clown is going to go out there and do that. It wouldn't make any sense whatsoever. But yeah, on the Jack Grealish thing, that's one bit of news that I had no idea about. So there we go. But as I say, I'm giving you a hypothetical answer to a hypothetical question. If we don't sign, what would you do? So there we go. Let's do one more comment here. It says, Man United, don't you think Ollie, what's it say? Don't you think Ollie should stick with Jadon Sancho and stall the deal and block other deals and should focus on other positions in the first place? Well, that's just kind of what I suggested there. I think maybe you do stick with the notion of bringing in Jadon Sancho and you look at other people as options first of all. I think that makes more sense. That's how I want us to operate. We know what we want. If we don't get him this year, we might be able to sign him next. So, yeah, I wouldn't panic and suddenly jump into bed with a different player who operates in that position. That, for me, seems massively premature. But listen, everyone who's tuned in, thank you. Hit the like button, hit the share button, and we'll see you all again very soon.